I think Wonder Woman was fine. I liked it a lot. I don't think it deserved as much praise as it actually did because there were a lot of blaring issues that I saw throughout the movie. Although Gal Gadot was just phenomenal in the role. I love that raspy voice that she has. Every time she cried, I just wanted to kill whoever made her cry. Chris Pine was amazing. He has like the bluest eyes I've ever seen in my entire life. It's kind of disturbing, but beautiful at the same time. But I liked the movie a lot. It kind of reminded me of Captain America: The First Avenger, that old German war movie, and the mascara was very good. I like the design that they had for there. I like that they established that there's a whole civilization there, and it's not just Amazon warriors there. But then later on in the movie, that kind of screws with me because they play this fish out of water story with Steve Trevor in the beginning, with Chris Pine in the beginning, on her end, which was awesome. But then they show it up later on with her going to London, and she does that whole trope where she doesn't know, the rules of modern man. So she kind of, when people are having a meeting, she just walks in and blares in like, oh, she's trying to just talk, or she just acts what you would consider rude and dumb. But she's like, oh, well, this is how I would do it. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but when your mom was talking earlier, you shut your mouth until she was done. So you established that there was some sort of pecking order, okay? You knew not to talk when she talked. You knew, to respect such and such. So why would you take that and assume that has nothing to do with, man's world? You know what I'm saying? Like, they made it so it's just like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if it was just Amazon warriors and they were all warriors and they knew nothing else, I get that. But there was clearly the queen, there was the knights, then you had regular people. It was like established there. So that was kind of a small, that was an issue as well. But she did make me hate men for a minute. I remember midway through the movie, I leaned to the person I was watching it with, and I was just like, I can't fucking stand men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool because it made her seem like a powerful woman. She doesn't listen to to men just because they said so. While at the same time, though, another con to me was the fact that there comes a major decision later on towards the end of the movie where she's been ignoring Chris Pine and his pleas to not do this and not do that and please don't do that. And she's like, no, I'm Wonder Woman. I'm going to go do it. And then later on, she's 100% wrong. So basically, this whole buildup showing that, oh, she's just so smart and everything she does is right. No, she ends up being 100% wrong. So now Chris Pine has to be like, oh, no, you'll succeed. Like, I'm not spoiling it or anything else, but it's just the fact that it makes you feel like she's so smart, but then it's just like, well, she's just a dumb woman anyway. She should have listened to the man. You know what I'm saying? Now, the action sequences were very, very great. I was going to complain about the slow-mo. I heard that there was a lot of slow-mo before, so I kind of went in assuming I was going to complain about it, but I actually didn't mind it that much. I think it started to go a little excess sometimes, but it didn't go 300. It didn't go like slow-mo just for water trickling. The action sequences were pretty phenomenal, except towards the end. I didn't really care as much for the last fight scene. It was decent, but it was just like a normal, just stuff going on, final battle. And my main thing is, overall, like I said, I'd give it like a 8 out of 10, and I'll give it a B+, because it was very phenomenal. But I still stand on what I thought when I heard that this movie was coming out back on Batman versus Superman, because I was like, why would they be showing Wonder Woman back in like, these old times or whatever, back in, the World War era, and have her in Batman v Superman. Basically, I feel no stake. I feel no weight in this movie, Wonder Woman, because I know that eventually she's going to show up there. So whatever happens, I know she's going to survive. I know the bad guy's not going to win. Like, I know that we all know this anyways, but it's just the fact that if you're going in and you're just watching Wonder Woman for that movie, but you've watched Batman v Superman and you know that she's in it, you're like, well, then she wins. You know she wins, and you know that this is because this is in modern times, in Batman v Superman, everything and everyone that she knows back then, Chris Pine, all of them, they're dead. Whether it be old age or whether it be in the movie, if they show it. It's like, I don't feel anything at the end of the day. I'm like, well, they're all going to be gone. she's still gonna have to deal with the Justice League. Like, that's what we're focused on. We're not focused on anything that has to do with this movie. Like, even now, like, I still was like, while I'm sitting there watching the movie, I was still like, but they all die. They all have to die at some point. Like, you can't hold them in stasis or something. Like, Wonder Woman, because she's from the gods, of course it's reasonable that she lives that long, but it's just like, that was like a blaring issue. And last thing I will say is, they didn't explain borderline anything when it comes to the powers to me. Like, none of it made sense. There were a lot of things that were just like, really? Like, I could explain later on. If anybody has anything to ask specifically about it, I'll go into detail. But to me, if it was done, I didn't catch it. Okay? I didn't catch it. So, but I did, like I said, overall I did like the movie. I just don't know if it deserved like 90+% on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. It didn't feel that amazing to me. But, I did like it. It wasn't a bad movie at all. DC did very well. Finally, and they just so happened to be with the female director, which I'm like, let all these women direct the movies. I don't understand why it needs to be such a big deal in the first place that a woman's directing a movie and they can do the job. Like, whatever. But the movie was great. Gal Gadot was amazing. She's phenomenally beautiful. Chris Pine was amazing. He's phenomenally beautiful. And it was a good movie overall. I'm still not excited for Justice League. This is just an isolated scenario. I don't think Justice League is going to be good. This is just me. I want to be excited, but based on their track record and Zack Snyder, it's not making me excited. I'm as excited for Justice League as I was for Transformers. Absolutely not. I don't give a shit. I know it's going to have cool action sequences at some point, but I don't think the story is going to hold up, and I think it's probably going to go on for too long. So that's my very sporadic review on it. So, yeah, that's it.